A 300 pounds mass monster watches Arnold stretch and laughs. Flexibility is for gymnasts. Bodybuilders need tension, not length. Competition day arrives. Arnold's poses flow like water. The mass monster moves like a statue. Size that can't move isn't strength, it's just weight. Los Angeles, April 1977. Wednesday afternoon, 3 p.m. Gold's Gym on Hampton Drive. Mid-afternoon. The gym is moderately busy. Maybe 25 people scattered across the floor. The usual sounds: weights clanking, music playing, conversations between sets. Spring sunlight streams through the windows, warming the space. Arnold Schwarzenegger sits on a mat in the corner. 32 years old, 240 pounds. Already a 6-time Mr. Olympia champion. At this point in his career, he has nothing left to prove. He's planning to retire after one more competition. This is his final season. But champions don't coast. Even at the end, Arnold is stretching, deep stretching. His legs are spread wide in a full split. His chest is pressed to the floor. His arms extended forward, breathing deep and controlled, holding the position for 3 minutes straight. This isn't a warm-up. This isn't casual flexibility work. This is serious mobility training. Part of his daily routine. Has been for years. While other bodybuilders pile on weight and pride themselves on being too muscular to touch their toes, Arnold maintains the flexibility of an athlete half his size. He transitions, sits up, pulls one leg straight, grabs his foot, pulls his chest toward his knee. Hamstring stretch. Deep, controlled. No bouncing, no forcing, just patient, progressive stretching. His face is calm. This is meditation for him. The stretching quiets his mind, prepares his body not just for training, but for presentation, for the stage, where flexibility determines whether you look like a marble sculpture or a wooden plank. Across the gym, near the squat rack, a man is loading plates. Greg the Mountain Walsh, 6 feet 3 inches, 300 pounds. A mass monster, one of the biggest bodybuilders in the world. His arms are 22 inches. His chest is 60 inches. His legs are tree trunks. He's massive, truly massive. Greg is preparing for the same competition as Arnold. The final showdown. His strategy is simple: be so big that size alone wins. Overwhelm the judges with pure mass. Make Arnold look small by comparison. And it might work. Greg is legitimately bigger than Arnold in almost every measurement. More muscle, more weight, more size. But there's a problem Greg doesn't see yet. Greg finishes loading the squat bar. 600 pounds. He gets under it, descends, but he doesn't go deep. Can't go deep. His mobility is so limited that he can only descend about halfway. His hips are tight. His ankles are inflexible. His massive muscles have become a cage. He ascends, racks the weight, breathing hard, satisfied. 600 pounds, even at half depth, is impressive weight. He grabs his water bottle, drinks, looks around the gym, sees Arnold stretching in the corner. Greg furrows his brow, walks over. Heavy footsteps, confident stride. He stops a few feet from Arnold, looks down. Arnold is now in a deep lunge stretch, his back leg extended straight, his front knee bent at 90 degrees, his hips square, sinking deeper with each breath. "What are you doing?" Greg asks. Arnold looks up, sees Greg standing over him, stretching. Greg shakes his head, slight smile, like he's watching something amusing but pointless. "Man, you're wasting time. We got a competition in 2 months. You should be hitting heavy weight, building mass, not doing yoga." Arnold continues his stretch. Doesn't argue, just responds calmly. "I am hitting heavy weight. 4 days a week. This is part of my training." Greg laughs. Stretching isn't training. Stretching is what you do when you're old and broken down. We're bodybuilders, not gymnasts. We need tension in our muscles, not length. Arnold switches legs. Deep lunge on the other side. His hip flexor stretches. His quad lengthens. Controlled breathing. Flexibility is part of strength, Arnold says. Greg positions himself. Hits front double bicep. Arms up. Massive. Impressive. Then tries to transition to side chest. The movement is stiff. Awkward. His body rotates in chunks. His arms don't flow. His torso doesn't rotate smoothly. It looks mechanical. Robotic. Arnold watches. Doesn't comment. Just observes. Greg drops the pose. Defensive now. Stage transitions don't matter. Judges look at the poses, not how you get between them. Arnold sits back down on the mat. Starts stretching his shoulders. Deep shoulder circles. Full range of motion. You're right that judges focus on poses. But they also notice presentation. Flow. How you command the stage. Two bodybuilders with equal muscle. The one who moves better wins. Every time. Greg crosses his arms over his massive chest. I'm bigger than you. I'll win on size. Arnold doesn't disagree. Maybe. You are bigger. But bigger doesn't always mean better. Not if you can't present it properly. Greg is getting frustrated. You're scared. That's what this is. You know I'm bigger, so you're trying to make flexibility matter. It doesn't. Mass matters. Density matters. Hardness matters. Flexibility? That's gymnast stuff. Arnold stands. Walks close to Greg. Not confrontational. Just present. In 2 months, on stage, we'll both find out which approach works better. You've built a prison of muscle. Let's see if judges reward the prison or the weapon. Greg stares at Arnold. Wants to respond, but doesn't have a good comeback. Instead, he turns and walks back to his squat rack. Arnold returns to his stretching. Unaffected. Focused. Over the next 2 months, this pattern continues. Arnold, training hard 4 days per week, but also stretching daily. 30 minutes every morning. Deep, progressive flexibility work. Maintaining mobility while building for his final competition. Greg, training heavy 6 days per week. 0 stretching. 0 mobility work. Just mass building. More weight. More volume. More size. By competition day, Greg has added another 8 pounds. He's 308 pounds. The biggest he's ever been. He looks like a tank. Arnold maintained 240 pounds. Didn't chase size. Focused on conditioning and presentation. Competition night. June 1977. The stage at Veterans Memorial Auditorium. Sold out. Thousands of people. Bright lights. Energy electric. Backstage, both men prepare. Greg is pumping hard. Dumbbells. Push-ups. Flexing constantly. Trying to maximize size. Arnold is stretching. Light movement. Staying loose. Staying fluid. They're called to stage. Prejudging. Individual presentations first. Greg goes first. Walks out. The crowd gasps. He's massive. Truly enormous. He hits front double bicep. The size is undeniable. His arms look like bowling balls. Then he transitions to side chest. The movement is stiff. He pivots his whole body like a statue turning on a platform. No flow. No grace. Just mass rotating in space. Next pose. Back double bicep. He turns around. Again, the movement is mechanical. His shoulders don't rotate smoothly. His hips don't flow. He looks like a bodybuilder trapped inside his own muscles. The judges take notes. His size is impressive. His presentation is lacking. Greg finishes. Walks off stage. Confident. He showed size. That's what matters. Then Arnold walks out. Same bright lights. Same stage. But the energy shifts. Arnold hits front double bicep. Not as big as Greg, but perfectly proportioned. Balanced. Aesthetic. Then he transitions to side chest. The movement is cinematic. His body rotates smoothly. His arms flow through space. His torso twists like water. Every transition is deliberate, controlled, beautiful. He moves through mandatory poses. Each transition seamless. His flexibility allows his muscles to be displayed from every angle without awkwardness. He commands the stage not through size, but through presentation. The audience is silent. Watching, mesmerized, Arnold finishes, walks off stage. The applause is thunderous. Later, during comparisons, the difference becomes even more obvious. Standing side by side, Greg is bigger. No question. But when they're asked to transition between poses rapidly, Greg struggles. His body doesn't respond fluidly. He looks like he's fighting his own muscles. Arnold flows. Every movement controlled. Every transition smooth. He makes 240 pounds look more impressive than Greg's 308 pounds because he can actually move it. The decision is unanimous. Arnold wins. His 7th and final Mr. Olympia title. Backstage afterward, Greg sits alone. Confused. Frustrated. He was bigger. Objectively bigger. How did he lose? Arnold walks over. Sits down next to him. You were bigger, Arnold says. No question. Greg looks up. Then why did I lose? Arnold thinks for a moment. Because you built a prison. A prison of muscle. Impressive. Strong. But immobile. On stage, judges don't just want to see muscle. They want to see controlled muscle. Muscle that serves you instead of trapping you. Pauses. I built a weapon. A weapon that moves. That flows. That presents from every angle without fighting itself. Flexibility isn't weakness. Flexibility is control. Greg is quiet. Processing. Arnold continues. You train like muscle is the only thing that matters. I train like presentation is what makes muscle matter. Your approach works in the gym. Mine works on stage. Arnold stands. Extends his hand. You're incredibly strong. Incredibly big. But if you want to win, you need to be able to move what you've built. Otherwise, it's just weight, not strength. Greg shakes Arnold's hand. For the first time, understanding. Years later, Greg would incorporate flexibility training into his routine, would stretch daily, would prioritize mobility as much as mass. Never won Mr. Olympia, but placed higher in subsequent competitions. He would tell younger bodybuilders, don't make my mistake. Don't build a body you can't control. Size without mobility is a cage. Arnold taught me that. The hard way. Arnold rarely talks about that competition specifically, but when asked about training philosophy, he always mentions flexibility. People think bodybuilding is about being big and tight. They're half right. Be big, yes. But tight? No. Be mobile. Be flexible. Be able to move through full ranges of motion. That's what separates bodybuilders from statues. Statues belong in museums. Athletes belong on stage. The lesson isn't about touching your toes. It's about understanding that every strength carried to extreme becomes a weakness. Size is strength, until it limits mobility. Then it's a cage. Muscle is power, until it restricts movement. Then it's weight. Density is valuable, until it creates rigidity. Then it's fragility. Greg built maximum size. Arnold built controlled size. On stage, control one. Who in your life is like Greg? So focused on one metric that they've sacrificed everything else? So committed to being the biggest that they've forgotten to be the best? And more importantly, are you that person? Are you building a prison? Stacking muscle or money or status or credentials so high that you can't move anymore? That you can't adapt? That you've become impressive but inflexible? Because 300 pounds that can't move loses to 240 pounds that flows. Every time. In bodybuilding. In business. In life. Arnold knew this. That's why he stretched for 30 minutes every morning while Greg added more weight to the bar. Flexibility isn't weakness. Flexibility is what makes strength usable. Build a weapon, not a prison.